Hello there and welcome to another edition of Gospel Brunch. I am your host, Gospel Lee. I make quality hip hop that your mom would be proud of as the most perfect picture of imperfection, and the reason why is because I exist to bring light to dark places. So today is Wednesday. I believe we are on episode 4, so we are gaining momentum and traction. We're just keeping it going, knocking these episodes out. It's a really big episode. I've been talking about this episode for a while, so really excited to get into it. I wanted to start off with a quote. It's Wednesday, often referred to as Wisdom Wednesday. So I wanted to kind of offer up a quote that I found to be extremely wise when I think about it. And that quote is, "Growing things change and changing things grow." Once again, growing things change and changing things grow. I just find that quote to be extremely wise because if you want to grow, you got to change. And when you change, usually you grow. And so I've just found that quote to be so relevant to me, especially with everything that's been going on with me. And so, yeah, growing things change and changing things grow. So, with that being said, I guess I'm going to jump right into this news. I have been rapping for a long time. I think 10 years as far as just getting developed and just developing and growing. I'm still developing and growing, but 10 years just really kind of cutting my teeth and kind of figuring out things, still figuring things out. And then 5 years, the last 5 years have been more on a professional basis, and that has been so much fun. I've been rapping and also working a 9 to 5 for the entire time that I've been rapping professionally. And that has been amazing. I have enjoyed it so much. It's been so awesome to work for a company that understood kind of what I was doing and my passion for music and, you know, bringing light to dark places and providing quality hip hop that your mom would be proud of. It was amazing to be able to partner with a company that would see my vision and really just try to help me reach that as much as they could. This entire time, though, while I've been extremely and incredibly grateful every single day, I think I wondered, you know, what would life be like if I could rap full time, if I could just focus on this vision full time. And, you know, I've always kind of wondered, but it's been one of those things where I'm like, well, I don't really need to worry about it because I have a great job and they're really cooperative, and it's been a really great partnership. I think what I've been seeing recently, you know, last couple of months, is that everything that I've been doing has got me to this point, but it won't get me any further. You know, everything I've done has brought me to this point, but it's not going to push me any further. And I really begin to see some of the, not necessarily the limits, but yeah, some of the limits where it comes to, you know, working a 9 to 5 and also rapping. Like, I can't go on like a 3-month tour. I can't go on a 2-month tour. I can't take advantage of some of these opportunities that I would want to further my career. And, you know, coupled with that, seeing some of the limitations, I just kind of felt like my season at work was just kind of up. A lot of things changed, a lot of change, a lot of transition. And through all of the changes and transitions at my workplace, I just kind of felt that my season might be up. And so I prayed about it because it's a huge decision. Prayed about it, and really the more that I prayed about it, the more peace I had with leaving. And so really prayed about it, submitted it to my pastors, my mentors, just really kind of ran it through a lot of different people, a lot of different filters, and at the end I still had peace, but more than that I had encouragement from the people that were closest to me. So with that, I decided, I think it's been a while. I decided a couple weeks ago to put in my 2 weeks notice and quit my job to pursue music full time. I'm really excited about it because this is what I've always wanted. This is what I've said that I've always wanted. So I'm really excited about it. It is kind of scary because, you know, for the last 8 years and 9 months, I've had a steady job with a paycheck, insurance benefits, blah. So not having some of those things is kind of weird, but I'm confident that God has led me to this decision. So I'm confident the same God that led me to this decision will lead me through as I'm making this journey. And I think for me, I'm in this place where I never want to be in a place where I'm looking back at my life and saying, oh, I wish I would have done this, or I wish I would have done that. And this was one of those things where I didn't want to look back and say, I wish I would have at least tried to go full time and see what it was like. And so I decided I didn't want to live like that. And also on top of that, I have a really, really unique time. This is a really, really unique time for me to do this. Like, getting married to my fiance. We don't have any kids. This is a really, really awesome time for me to step out in this venture. I know once you have kids, things get a little more different. And so we don't necessarily have that right now to deal with. And so I figured, why not? Let's just take a shot and see what happens. I've always been like that. I think that I've always been that person to just kind of go for it and see what happens, because it might not work out, but at the same time, it could actually work out in a really amazing way. And so I am so excited to be able to, start this journey. The real work begins. I'm going to work probably harder than I've ever worked before, making this happen and trying to, really do this full time. What I've seen is that it's possible. It just takes a lot of work, a lot of dedication. And you really have to just believe in yourself. It's been so funny because, as I've been breaking this out to different people, you really get two types of reactions. The first type is, oh man, that's amazing. Great for you. I'm so excited. Like they're excited. They're encouraged. A lot of my musician friends, very, very excited. I remember the day after I put in my 2 weeks, I went on to a music, independent musician conference, and I announced it there at the conference. And everybody was like applauding and like, oh my gosh, it's so amazing, awesome, good for you, good for you. And that was so encouraging. But then, like, I tell some people, like I told a staff member at my church, and they were like so surprised, like, oh my gosh, like they're like really, really like surprised, almost like, what are you gonna do, what's gonna happen, you know what I mean? And so it's been really interesting to see those two types of reactions. But for me, I think that this is the right thing to do. And I think that anytime you take a risk and you take a leap, you have those two types of reactions. People that are like, oh man, it's amazing, go for it, awesome. And people like, oh my gosh, like they don't want to say like, what the heck are you doing? What are you going to do? But you can almost read that from their face and their reactions. And I think for me, anytime that you take a risk and make that leap, like you're going to get those reactions, but you have to remember that, you're the one that has the vision, and you're the one that can see the vision, and not everybody can see your vision, and that's okay. But you can't judge the success on your vision based on the ability or inability of other people to see it, and so yeah, that's my big news. I'm really, really excited about it. It has been a journey to get even to this point, but I feel like I've demonstrated that I can do this, and now with more free time and bandwidth to really concentrate and pour into this, I feel like I can really do this and make it work. So I'm so excited because this is going to be a lot of fun. And whether it's for 3 months or 3 years or 10 years or whatever, I want to look back at my life and say, you know what, for that 3 months or that 3 years or whatever, I gave it my best. I gave it a shot, and it worked, and it was fun. We had so much fun, and I'd rather do that than always wonder, oh my gosh, I would be tortured every day wondering what life would have been like had I taken that leap of faith. And there have been several times in my life where I've decided, hey, I'm going to do this thing, and it's really risky, and I don't know how it's going to play out. And every single time I've always appreciated the fact that I did it. When it was, moving across the country to come to Arizona, not really knowing anybody, when it was asking my fiance to marry me, like all these different things were like huge risks. Not to say, like huge leaps, I should say, leaps of faith. Like, this is what I believe I need to do, and I'm going to do it. And I've lived my life like that, and I really haven't regretted it. And so this is another step, a big step, but another step that I'm really excited to take. And I'm going to bring you guys in on the journey. And that's I think what some of these broadcast / vlogs will be, is just kind of letting you kind of know where I'm at, what's going on. Got a lot of crazy things planned and really excited for. And so yeah, I remember a story that Jim Carrey told. He said that his dad was really, really funny, but he decided that he would be like an accountant or something because being funny didn't pay the bills, I guess is what that was his reasoning. And he says that his dad lost his job, so they had to end up doing whatever it took to pay the bills anyway. And so that story always stuck with me. It always stuck with me because I figured, I don't ever want to be like that. I don't ever want to take a job just to pay the bills. Like, I really want to enjoy and like love what I do. And I don't know. That's just how I want to live my life. Like, some people, like, they get a job just to pay the bills, or they take a occupation, or they jump into a field of study just to pay the bills. And like, in my life, I feel like there's just so much more to life than just paying bills. Like, at the end of your life, you're gonna like say, oh, I paid all these bills, great, all right, peace out. Like, I just don't want to do that. Not to say you can't like have a job that pays the bills and also do what you love, because that's what I've done. But I just think for me personally, there's an opportunity and there's a shot where I can do what I love and have that pay the bills. And so for however long that lasts, I want to take that opportunity. I want to take that shot. And that's what I've decided to do. And I'm so excited about it. It's going to be amazing. I think I'll just tell you everything. So I'm going to go back to Oklahoma. I live in Arizona. I'm going to be back in Oklahoma probably for the rest of the year. So I'll be in Oklahoma from probably the end of September to January. I'm getting married in like 30 days or so. So I'm going to get married and kind of adjust and spend some time with my wife slash fiance slash wife. And then probably come back and do a couple shows in Arizona, and then just kind of work a little bit. There's a temp job that I'm going to take for a little bit to kind of save some money so that in January I can just launch out and go full time, which I'm excited. So still rapping, still doing everything that I do. I'm just preparing for this launch into this career, and I'm going to spend the rest of this year kind of preparing for that. So I'm really excited. If I could say anything to you guys, what I would say is, what would I say? Oh my gosh. So what would I say? I would say, take risks, take big risks, but take smart, calculated big risks. Yeah, I would say that. And then I'd also say, what would I say? I guess I'm just trying to figure out like what I would say to somebody else. Oh yeah, find what you're passionate about. Like, I think you should figure out what you're passionate about and develop that passion and nurture and cultivate that passion. And I think that when you pour yourself into your passion, and you develop it and you cultivate it, and you use that passion to serve people, I think that, I don't want to say money takes care of itself, but those things take care of themselves. There's a guy, Mattress Mac, he said, service before self, or service above self. So when you cultivate, develop, and really grow your passion, put time into it, and you use that passion to serve people, I think that you somehow get taken care of in the process. And that's all I'm really doing, is just figuring out a way to use this passion to serve people on a greater scale, in faith, believing that my needs will be taken care of. So yeah. So that's the news. I'm excited. I really am. And I would love if you guys would continue to pray for us. Those of you that are the praying kind, feel free to pray for us, because we are on a very exciting journey. And yeah, I've always said that I wanted to live my life by faith, really just depending on God, like fully and wholly to, make things happen. And now I'm getting that shot to fully do it. So I can't be more happy. I can't be more excited. So yeah, that is the news. And yeah, I hope that it encourages you. And that's the thing. I'm going to get into what I wrote, my daily writing, soon. But I just wanted to encourage you, like, really, 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 I don't want to say follow your dreams, but like pay attention to your dreams, pay attention to the things that you're passionate about, because those are there for a reason. I believe that those are there for a reason, so that you can like serve people. The reason why they're there is so that you can use those passions and gifts to serve people. And when you use your passions and gifts to serve people, I think somehow you get taken care of in the process. So that's what I'm gonna say. I want to move on to the daily writing segment. I'm writing for 100 days. And so this is what I wrote yesterday / today. This is what I wrote. I'm probably going to write twice today so I can get caught up. But this is what I wrote. So I wrote, crawl before you walk, walk before you run fast and don't stop, because the running's never done. To me, there's more than running, but most are afraid to try. We choose security over becoming, so we never learn to fly. Let me just read that last portion. To me, there's more than running, but most are afraid to try. We choose security over becoming, so we never learn to fly. So I was thinking about this decision and announcing it to you guys. That's the whole inspiration behind what I wrote. And I feel like, they're always saying, crawl before you walk and walk before you run, and that's it. And then they just say run as fast as you can. And I feel like there's so much more to life than just running. I feel like we were made to fly, not just run, but to like actually fly and soar. And to me, soaring and flying is really functioning and living out of your purpose, like using your purpose to serve other people, and like just being fully driven and motivated by your purpose, realizing what that is, getting in tune with that, and then giving that to the world. And I feel like that's really when you're flying. And I think that a lot of times we play it safe, like go to school, go to college, get an education and get a degree so you can get a well-paying job, so you can have nice things and pay bills and retire and die. That's been so much of what I've been told growing up and what I've seen. And even just what I've seen in the workplace. Like, I'm just working this job so that I can pay bills and this and that. But I'm like, what are you passionate about? Like, what do you do? Like, what drives you? And how often do you get to do that? Like, are you serving people with that? Like, I feel like there are two schools of thought. And I feel like a lot of times we just tell people to play it safe. But for me, if we're playing it safe, we're not really living. If you're playing it safe, you're not really flying. You're not really soaring. And so that's why I wrote what I wrote. Go in here and touch on a couple lines. So, yeah, to me, there's more than running, but most are afraid to try. Like, we're so afraid of, I don't know, what are we afraid of? I think we're afraid of just like not being able to pay the bills, like being poor and like being on the street and all this kind of stuff. Like, we're so afraid of that we trade in our purpose for the security of a 9 to 5 or security of a well-paying job. But if we're trading that in, like, are we really living? Like, that's what I keep wondering. We choose security over becoming, so we never learn to fly. Like, we trade in, I think a lot of times we trade in like the possibility of functioning and soaring and like flowing through our purpose for security. And so yeah, so I think that we trade that in. We trade I guess that's the thing. That's a good point. I think that it's not even really security, but it's also comfort as well. Like, we're so comfortable, and we're not willing to step out of our comfort zone to really become who we're called to be, who we're destined to be. And I think that you'll never be who you're supposed to if you're stuck inside your comfort zone. Like, becoming who you're supposed to become requires you stepping out of your comfort zone. And I think that that's how I really like to articulate it. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. And so for me, this is stepping out of my comfort zone because I see the person that I want to be. And I know that requires taking big, calculated, huge leaps of faith and risks. So that's what I'm doing. And so I'm excited and expected that I'll be the person that I'm supposed to be. So anyway, that's the news. That's what's going on. So yeah, I really thank all of you for watching. This has been so much fun to kind of get out there. I've kind of been sitting on it for a little while, but now it's out in the open. So if you find yourself motivated or encouraged or inspired or any of that stuff, I would love if you would share this broadcast with your friends on your wall or whatever the case might be, with your milkman, if you still have that milk delivery system in place. Yes, so feel free to share. If you're watching the vlog on YouTube, feel free to subscribe, and that would be great. So yeah, that is it. That is the news. I'm really excited to be doing this and sharing this with you. It's going to be a fun journey. I'm really excited, and so yeah, we'll keep you posted. But yeah, it's going to be fun. Oh, I should also announce I have 2 Oklahoma shows. I'm really excited. 2 Oklahoma shows. One is going to be on the 20th of this month in Oklahoma City at North Church, And then the other one is the very next week on the 27th in Skiatook, which I'm really excited about. I haven't been out there in a long time. So if you are in Oklahoma or in those areas, feel free to come out. If you're not and you want to come, you're more than welcome to come as well. Yeah, so I'm excited to be doing some live shows. It's going to be a lot of fun. So here we are. I finally done it. I decided that I wanted to step outside of my comfort zone, take a huge risk, and do this thing that I've always dreamed. So now I get to live my dream every day. And so it's going to be a lot of fun. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful Wednesday. Remember, growing things change and changing things grow. And you can't be you can't be who you were supposed to if you stay inside of your comfort zone. So step out, try something new, take a big calculated risk, figure out what your passions are, cultivate, develop them, use them to serve people, and you won't lose. You can't lose. All right. You guys, I will see you tomorrow.